I will simplify learning and using this VSign project or the app into 4 steps. The first step, there is a system administrator who will initiate and give you a password, and he will register you into the computer system so that you can use that password. And once you know the password, you can log on. It's a good policy that you never let others know your password, because everything done under that password, the owner of the password is held responsible. Because these days you cannot say I don't know, because even legal terms bind you for if you for what is done on your account. So if you lose it, no harm. You can go to the administrator and get a new password. That's the first step. As a next step, you might be new to this device called Playbook. So learn certain things and familiarize yourself with the device operation. And no matter what app you use, for this device, these are the operations. What are these operations? Power on, power off, and how do you put the computer in a sleep mode? What do I mean by sleep mode? When you are in a sleep mode, or when the computer is in the sleep mode, it does not take too much power. So it is a standby. It saves the power. So this device is designed automatically to go to the sleep mode if you don't use it for a while, and you can wake up from the sleep mode very quickly. And once you have the screen, you will learn about touch, swipe, pinch. Now you can also learn how to enter the type of input, either with the keyboard or otherwise. Now you will navigate, learn to go back and forth, how to touch, how to swipe in order to do that. We'll demonstrate everything during the practice time. Also, you must learn to see how much charge is left. You must be doing it already on the cell phone. It's the same thing here. Now, once you become familiar with the device, now you are going to become familiar with the app. We already have seen in the previous slide what are the various operations you can perform in order to accomplish your task of entering the vital sign. Step 4 is very important. Nothing can substitute a practice. So any amount of listening or seeing others doing is not going to help you unless you jump in and play with it. So you will be all allowed to touch, practice, and in the practice session. So let's begin by looking at a sample screen of the VSign app. Now this is the summary screen which I have shown you before, if you may recall. Temperature, the heartbeat and the blood pressure, the respiration rate, oxygen, O2 saturation, pain scale, lab work, and weight. Now you see here, the summary is presented here. The two values of the temperature, look at this, is taken on August 5th at one time. This is taken August 5th, taken at a different time. And these are the two values. These are fictitious values, so don't worry about them. Now, this is one way the software designer has presented. There is also another way of presenting the same thing. Now, take a look at this deeply. And now I'm going to show the same information presented by the designer in a different way. Okay? Now look at this. The same information is presented differently. Now you see two values are separated by this vertical line. One on the left, one on the right. The latest one is on the left. The previous one is on the right. Now, is this easy to see, or the other one is easy to see, or this one is easy to see? So by talking to the nurses, the designer chooses a way of presenting the data in the software. That's why I told you the software development is very complex, and particularly in the medical applications, it's a lot more complex compared to banking and other sectors. Now observe from the previous screen, there are two rows of touchable buttons or tabs, one on the top in black and one below in the purple. Okay, see here, this is the black one and this is the purple one. So these are all the tabs I'm talking about. The screen is what has come out when a nurse has selected a patient from the patient list, so that the patient summary is seen. On the purple line, observe there are 7 tabs and the tabs are named. See, sum, temp, hot, O2. Now, why is this kind of temp? Why not temperature? Because the screen space is limited, so the designer has abbreviated these things as temp. So this abbreviation is also to be properly selected by the designer to give the feel for what it is. So because the screen space is limited, there are a number of other issues we will see. Now when you touch a tab, observe that what happens and what is shown on the screen for your further action, like select from a list, view, etc. So when you are practicing, do this. Touch a tab and see what happens. Now once you start using this VitalSigns app, the functionalities of the app are nice, but you will want some more. For example, I would like to consult the meds, I would like to enter the blood sugar, I want to do charting, and I want to send and receive short messages to fellow nurses or to the doctors or to the nurse coordinator from wherever I am. You may be attending to a patient and you could simply speak into the phone and say, call someone like that. Now, or you can, when you're sitting down, you can send emails and so on. So, like this, you would like to enhance or enrich the functionalities of the app. Okay. So, we will be expanding the functions of this app in future. So that's why we call this as a version 1 of VitalSigns. Now probably we will roll out the next version once we are able to develop and enrich this VitalSigns project. Let's hope we'll get a better future and VitalSigns will survive and we will enrich it more and more. So the development team included all these people. Dr. Jeffrey Barkin is the key person who started this project, and I talked to him and he was very welcoming, and that's how the whole thing started. Dr. Yu Hong Yan, who is here, young professor who's a lot more energetic than me, so she's the project leader for this project. Dr. Mudur, who is not here, he is not able to come. He's the project advisor and he's a consultant. He's the chair of our department. And this is me, you know. And Mr. Brian Lang is a Cisco specialist and he's a leader who has interfaced it. And some of you may be knowing Anita Lang. Then from the RIM side, Mr. Chris Labrador, as the RIM representative, helped us in this project. Now these are the 4 graduate students who worked on this project and they are working for their theses, and this is a project they implemented in a short period of 3 to 4 months, and they were paid by the grant from MSA. These 2 people I mentioned to you earlier, without them we cannot bring our research into fruition. So thank you very much for this for listening to my short presentation. We'll be starting the practice session after this. Now I'll stop here. If you have any questions, you can ask me. And thank you very much, and thanks everyone. Now we have to clean it up. கீழே ஒரு டவல் இருக்கு கொடுக்கலையா ஒன்றும்